Here we go. What's up, everybody? It's Spot the Gym, and I'm joined by two special guests this time. Last time it was just me and Jason, and I've got Bryer with us as well. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
Doing good.
Are you excited for this?
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. And I've got both their channels in the description below. So go ahead and subscribe to them, please. I really would appreciate that. You could tell them that what the gym sent you.
Yeah. Do that. Yeah.
So before we get started with our top 10, you can both introduce yourself and your channels, if you're right with that. I'll let you go first, Bryer.
All right. So my name's Bryer. I have a CD collection, and I like to showcase it. That's yes, name sense. So I primarily talk about music. That's pretty much been the thing. I have pretty wide taste. I talk about rock. I talk about metal. I talk about more folk, R&B, soul. Like I'm all over the place. So you never really know what to expect. And my collection's still growing. I think I have over 600, but I'm actually getting close to 700. So
that's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically my channel, and hopefully I do hope to one day expand a bit, but right now I'm pretty happy doing music.
Cool. What about you, Jason?
All right, you guys know me, Jason, the old Millennial.
Yeah.
Cover movies and music. I do a lot of rankings on both. And I do a lot of live streams. This is my third live stream in the last 4 days. So I'm coming a bit of a live stream guy right now. So I haven't done a lot on my channel because I keep going on other people's live streams, which I love doing live streams. Enjoy talking to people and all that. So yeah.
You should call your channel Jason the live streamer.
The live streamer.
Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to go ahead and do this. And I think we'll go and see what's going on in the chat first. So we've got the viewer Drew saying, "Hey, what's up? Hey Drew, how are you doing?" And we got my sister Beth. She's here saying hey. So hello.
Beth.
And my friend Zach here. Zach, cool boy. And he's saying cool.
Cool boy.
Yeah. He lives about 15 minutes from where I live now. So we're pretty good friends, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're ready to go ahead and do our top 10 movie characters, and then we'll go through the honorable mentions at the end.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
You can go first, Bryer, and then you, Jason, and then I'll go.
All right.
So Bryer, what's your 10th favorite movie character?
All right, so for my 10, I tried not to do too many animated ones. I want to start branching out to more live action. So my first 4 are from animated, but then the rest will be live action.
Oh.
So for my number 10, I want to get at least one female in here. So I went with Mulan, of course, from classic Disney film. So basically, the reason why I wanted to put her on here is basically her story, because in the beginning of the film, she starts out as this kind of somewhat privileged girl. Like her father was a war hero, and so now it's when she's older, her father's more elderly. But then war breaks out in China, and so her father is being called, even though he is pretty old and can't really do it anymore. And so what Mulan does, she decides to kind of cut her hair and decides to disguise as a male and joins the army. And what's great is that in the beginning, she literally had no experience fighting whatsoever, never did any close combat. And at first it's very hard. It's very hard for her. But then over time, she starts to gain respect, especially from the other troops and also from the higher ups. And even though at some point, kind of a spoiler, even though the truth does come out that she is a woman, that she does come back at the end and basically saves all of China almost single-handedly. So that's that alone, it's just incredible. So I had to put her on here. So that's my number 10.
Great choice.
Do you prefer the animated or the live action?
Oh, animated. No joke. No,
Me too.
no contest.
Yeah, same
I
here.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the live action, they make her too perfect, which
Yeah.
kind of ruins the
Mhm.
purpose of the original.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So what about you, Jason?
Well, I have to admit, now you said that, all my characters are males. I didn't think about it, but I guess I go towards more males because I'm a male, I guess, maybe. But yeah, and I just go with characters that are really fun to watch on screen. So my first choice, or my first number 10 is Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool,
Yeah.
played by Ryan Reynolds. He played him, and I thought about it, he played him in 3 movies really, because he was Deadpool in Wolverine Origins. It's kind of forgettable role because he was only in it for a little bit at the beginning, and then they
Mhm.
totally messed up the character and took Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
out of it, which was the best part of the character was Ryan Reynolds, and so they kind of ruined the character. And then luckily, it's one of those really cool movie stories that he was able to come back years later and recreate the character and come out with Deadpool. He's done 2 movies, Deadpool and Deadpool 2, and I believe Disney is going to be working on a third one, but I think it's going to be in a couple of years probably, because I haven't heard them shooting it or anything. But I know it's been announced. I believe they are working on a third one, which I'll be excited to see, because I absolutely love this character, and a lot of that, of course, is Ryan Reynolds. He has
Mhm.
he's such a great combination of good looks, can do action, and is very funny. And that combination makes him such a fun actor to watch. I was a fan of Ryan Reynolds even before Deadpool. Anytime he was in a movie, I always thought he was a very enjoyable actor, and the characters that he does, as I said, is usually comedic, and I love his comedic timing. He has maybe one of the best comedic timings out there in Hollywood.
Mhm.
Though he's not just a comedic actor, though he can do comedy really well. Um, but it was when he did Deadpool, I feel like that really shot him up as an A-list actor. And I feel like every other movie I watch has Ryan Reynolds in it. I mean, I feel like he must do 10 movies a year. So, I mean, something crazy. I mean, I feel like he does so much work right now. And I think it has,
Yeah.
you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like that's because of Deadpool, because it made a lot of money and it kind of made him
Mhm.
a very reliable star. And so everybody's like, we got to get Ryan Reynolds in here because he can make money now. But yeah, it's a really funny character. Obviously, I love the fourth wall breaks. Uh, he takes it to a whole new level. I mean, it's the best movie when it comes to those kind of things. It's to me the funniest superhero movie, if you want to call it that, that
Mhm.
there is out there. Yeah, it's just one of those characters I just love because it just hits you with so many jokes. I mean, throughout that whole movie, you just get bombarded with jokes. Some of them immature, but still I find them pretty funny overall. So yeah, so I had to pick Deadpool for this number 10.
Good pick.
Pretty great choice there. But before I reveal my number 10, we've got a few comments here. So we've got Drew saying some of my favorite movie characters are Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Arnold as the Terminator, and Bruce Willis as John McClane. Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones,
Yeah,
and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. He's
there you go.
got
All right.
Deadpool in his list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those voices.
And we've got my dad here, Toonami Steve saying, "Hey guys, Adam's boss here." I guess so.
Yeah,
Well, it's Bruce Springsteen, really. It's his birthday today.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, I saw that on
Yeah.
Facebook. 73, you say?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 73. And we've got this music saying Lando Calrissian all day. Yeah, Lando's a great character.
Yeah.
And we've got Mulan in my top 10 too.
Yay.
That's what my sister said.
Your sister's approval on that one.
Yeah. I've got Dad say definitely have Lara Croft in my top 10.
Oh,
Classic
okay.
role from Angelina Jolie. Great
interesting.
choice there. Interesting, yeah. And we've got classic reviews
Good
here.
job.
Hey guys. Hello, Josh. And we got
Australian pasta.
uh,
I don't know what that is.
sure.
Not sure about that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
We got my dad here. So another one for me is the Emperor from Star Wars. Still scares me. That is a brilliant character there.
Yeah, a great bad guy.
And we got one to say I'm the boss around here.
Stirring up some
Right.
trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Right, I'll get to my number 10. And I've got one of the characters from the Jurassic franchise, and that's Alan Grant.
Oh, okay.
I think he's just a really, really great character. He's really, very charismatic, and just really, really well written character. And in my opinion, he's probably the best part of these Jurassic movies, other than the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And I think I can't remember who plays him, but he does a really, really good job at playing Alan Grant.
Sam Neill.
Yeah, Sam Neill. Yeah, I've not really got too much else to really say, really, but he's probably the highlight of the Jurassic Park movie, which is up there as one of my favorite movies of all time. And I wasn't the biggest fan of his performance, of his character in the latest Jurassic film,
Yeah.
and that's why it's not any higher in my list. But still a really, really great character, though, and in my opinion, deserves to be in my top 10 movie characters.
Yeah. So you liked him when he came back in the third one because he missed out on the second one.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
So that was nice to see him come back for Jurassic Park 3.
And then, and then he was in Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of performance in that one.
Yeah, I loved seeing them come back for the last one.
I just felt like he was written a bit of a different character in that movie.
Yeah,
So
didn't
that's my opinion.
you want Alan
Yeah.
Grant and the female character to get together?
Yeah, they did, definitely.
To me, that was always a disappointment. Those two should have gone together, but I don't know.
Yeah,
guess-
they should have got them together from the start.
Yeah, they kind of get together in the last one, if I remember right. Maybe not. I can't remember, but
I can't remember either. But Brian, you can let me know what your ninth favorite is.
All right. So number nine.
Number
Anyway.
9.
you have to do it. Number 9.
Can't
Number
resist
9,
now.
yeah.
You have
Okay,
to.
so my number 9 is going to be Shrek, of course, from the Shrek franchise. So ever since he first came out, I mean, everybody knows Shrek. Like he's like become like a big pop culture icon. I mean, you see memes, you see videos constantly about him, and for good reasons, because really his story is actually really pretty good. Because in the first film, he kind of starts as this loner. He thinks he doesn't need anybody in his life. He's perfectly happy being alone. But then by the end of the movie, of course, he finds Fiona. Then he finally finds what true love is, and so that was great. And then following into the second movie, it carries on with his development where he learns to accept not just accepting true love, but also just accepting himself, like just loving himself, because he spent the whole second movie just trying to look a different way to try and impress Fiona's parents. And of course, by the end of it, he learns that that's not what Fiona loved him for. And then Shrek third, I think he was trying to accept being a father, but I'm not sure they did that well. I think they did better in the fourth one, where in that one he kind of accepts being a father, being a husband, and just appreciating the life he now has. And so I think throughout the whole Shrek series, he's just constantly been growing as a character, and it's just very great to see. You always root for him regardless. And so yeah, and to kind of sum it up, like Shrek said in the first movie, he is an ogre, and ogres are like onions. There are many layers to him. So that's my number 9.
Great choice there.
Was Shrek in your
Don't
top
care.
favorite animation movies?
I think it was an honorable.
It was honorable.
Shrek 2 was my honorable.
Okay,
It's a great series of Shrek films.
Yeah. Played by
Don't
Mike.
care. Yeah. He does great Scottish accent in it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. So what's your number 9, Jason?
Okay, number 9 is a movie I don't know if you guys ever heard of. or the characters from a movie. So it's a little more obscure, but it's one of my favorite movies. But the character's name is Ensign Pulver, played by Jack Lemmons, in a movie called Mr. Roberts from 1955. That's him there, Jack Lemmon, as the Ensign Pulver. If you don't know the movie from 1955, John Ford movie with Henry Fonda, James Cagney, William Powell, and Jack Lemmon. It's set during World War II. They're on a cargo military ship during the war, and it kind of follows them on this boat. And Jack Lemmon plays a character called Ensign Pulver. He's laundry and morale is his job title. So he does laundry, and so he's not really a big wig on, but he tries to act like a big wig on the boat because he's considered one of the officers. But he's kind of a lazy guy that, and it's just an absolutely hilarious performance. I would say it's the best comedic performance I've ever seen out of an actor. And I'm a big Jack Lemmon fan. I love a lot of his movies from the 50s, 60s period. If you know Jack Lemmon's, just a really funny actor. This is Jack Lemmon's only second movie that he did, and he won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for this role. And I always say, when you're playing a comedic role and you win an Oscar, you're pretty funny, because the Academy usually doesn't give Oscars to comedic roles unless you're really, really funny. And I think this is one of those cases. But yeah, his scenes are just so good. I mean, I highly recommend anybody watching Mr. Roberts. It's one of my favorite comedies. And he is so good in it. And you just, every scene he's in, he just leaps off the screen, just how much charisma he has, and just every line, he's so good in the movie anyway. So it's not a really well-known character, but it's one of my favorite.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah,
I've never even heard of it, but I'll probably check it out at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
I like a good comedy, especially when he got an Oscar for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We've got This Is Music back. You've seen Cesar Romero's the Joker. It counts because he made that one movie based on TV show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that version of the Joker. Even with the painted mustache.
Yeah, even with the mustache.
Yeah. I'll get to it with my number 9, and it's Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh, the Joker.
I bet you weren't expecting that one.
That was a good segue.
Yeah.
But I just think that Heath Ledger does an amazing performance as the Joker, and in my opinion, it's the best Joker that we've gotten. And he's just really, really intimidating, but he's also quite funny as well. He could be funny and dark at the same time, and I think he's a great villain for Batman in this movie. I think their relationship together, even though they're enemies, there's still got quite good writing between both of them there. I think it's just a great movie villain, and he's my favorite DC movie villain as well.
Yeah,
and DC movie character in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great character there.
Yeah, he's the Batman villain, I think, of all time.
The most iconic one, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he won an Oscar.
Yeah, he definitely deserved to.
That's pretty good. You don't normally win Oscars for bad guy roles, I don't think, but he was so good.
He did a really convincing job as the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got Mike for Did You See That here saying, hey guys, what's up? Hey Mike, how are you doing?
Mike's back in the UK.
Yeah, he's back from Florida. He's dropping in to show some love. Thank you, mate. So I guess, well, you can now say your number 8, Bryer.
Number 8. Okay, this is kind of making up for not having any Toy Stories in my list last time, but for number 8, I'm going with Woody.
Okay.
Yeah, so Woody, kind of similar to Shrek. Every movie he kind of shows a different stage in his life. Where in the first film he's the favorite toy. He's kind of the leader, and then he gets kind of jealous when the new guy comes in. But then he learns to befriend him and all that. And then in the second film, it kind of carries on. That kind of introduces the idea of one day Andy will grow up and maybe won't need to play with Woody as much anymore. But by the end of it, he kind of accepts it and just going to enjoy the amount of time he has with him. And then by the third one, the day comes, and now by the end of that movie, he kind of he now has a new duty of being a playmate to Bonnie at the end of the film. And then even at the fourth movie, it keeps going through his progression. And by the end of that movie, he's kind of done now being somebody's plaything, and now he's ready to help other toys find their owners. So it's just a whole life cycle of basically of a toy, really. And it's just, again, I mean, I grew up with this series, and seeing Woody grow to where he ends up is actually kind of very heartwarming and just good to watch. So number 8 is Woody for me.
Cool.
Yeah, I thanks a lot to Tom Hanks. Is so good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who else could have done as good as Tom Hanks, but
No one. I don't think.
yeah, that's great.
So I guess it's your turn now, Jason.
All right, number 8 for me is another comedy Christmas movie classic, and is Buddy the Elf from Elf.
Yeah, great one.
Nice.
Played by Will Ferrell, as you see in the middle there. Again, I go towards very comedic characters when I think about my favorite characters that I just love watching on screen, that are just so fun to be with. And definitely, Will Ferrell is one of my favorite comedic actors. I got so many movies of his and I saw just about everything he came out with. And of all of them, this is probably my favorite character that he's done. And it was kind of the first major character that he did, because he mostly did supporting roles in other movies that he's very funny in. But this was like the one movie that was like, okay, everything's on your shoulders. Let's see if you can carry a movie. And he definitely did, I think, and really knocked it out of the park with kind of his first major starring role, I would say. And Buddy is so great because, and of course, Will Ferrell's like 6'4" probably or something like that. He's a big guy, and so he's playing this very childish character. So it's just great, and he does such a great job with it, being so naive. So childlike in his, innocence, I would say, because he lives in the North Pole, which I guess nothing bad really happens. So when he goes to New York City, he has no idea of all the dangers and stuff, and it makes it such a great role for him. I just absolutely love when he sees the coffee shop that says the world's greatest coffee, and runs in, congratulations, like,
oh yeah,
cracks me up every time. Like, such a great time. Great moment. And what I love about Buddy is his ability to, I don't know, he's funny when he whispers, and I don't know anybody's so funny. Like they're the whispering, he says, I like to whisper too. And it's like, that's so funny. Like Will Ferrell is so good. He can yell and be funny. He can whisper and be funny. It's just, I don't know, I just love that childlike innocence that he has in that character. It's hard not to like that character because he's doesn't know any better. He's, nice to everybody, doesn't understand why people would be mean to him, even though they are, and he just doesn't understand the world as it is. And so, I don't know, I just absolutely love that character.
Yeah, that's a good
very
one.
quotable one as well.
What's
He's
that?
got so many memorable quotes and scenes. Yeah. But we've also got this music saying that the Slimer counts as a movie character, yeah? Slimer counts as one. Yeah, the ghost from Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Good old Slimer. My number 8 is coincidentally the same one as Bryer said, and that's Woody.
Woody?
Oh yay!
Yeah. I'm just going to echo what you said, really. I mean, Tom Hanks does an excellent performance here, and it's, in my opinion, the best animated movie character there is. I don't think there's anyone better. and especially when he's joined by Buzz, I think he's just as great, or if not better, when Buzz is with him as well. But he's a great character on his own, and you can definitely tell that, especially when you watch Toy Story 4. He can definitely do a lot on his own.
Yeah.
And he's just a really really well written character. He's definitely a very emotional character at times as well. And I think he's progressed a lot as a character. He starts off being quite a selfish character, and ends up being the one that cares about all of his friends. Yeah, that's why for number 8. And I guess we'll continue on with our top 10 with your number 7, Bryer.
All right. So this is the last animated one I have, and after talking about Woody and Shrek, I kind of will kind of put them lower now, but I'm just gonna roll with it. So for my number 7, I'm gonna talk about Wall-E. Case. So Wall-E's just, again kind of similar to Buddy. He's a bit naive as well. He's been alone for many years because he's the last of his kind, and it's kind of isolated. But even besides that, he's still pretty happy-go-lucky. He's just doing his duty, and he sees his junk collection, and he has a pet roach. And you even though he doesn't talk a lot, like he doesn't literally. There's like I don't think there's any dialogue through the first first act of the film. Yes, but regardless, you're still kind of just you just can't help but love the guy. He's just living his life it's just like every day is the best day ever. But then when Eve shows up, then you see him start to fall in love, and you're also kind of like aw.
Yeah.
He has a crush, and it carries out through the whole movie. And when he's on the ship, again, like Buddy, he's in a different scenario that he's never been before. So he's just exploring. He's just exploring, trying to find Eve. And by the end we all know the story. Then by the end of the film, him and Eve get together, and it just finishes the film in a nice, happy note. So number 7 is Wall-E. Could be lower, but I'm rolling with it.
Yeah, I love how innocent the whole, he just wants to hold hands. I know. I love that kind of innocent of that,
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is to Wall-E, and
yeah. And he loves Hello Dolly. That's great.
Yeah. It is, I kind of get the Hello Dolly in a way.
Yeah.
And he thinks about others before himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what's your number 7, Jason?
All right, number 7 is another Christmas comedy classic, and favorite character there is the Grinch, played by Jim Carrey in the movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I was a big Jim Carrey fan in the 90s. In fact, he probably was my favorite actor in the 90s. I absolutely loved his comedies. He's one of the best physical comedic actors, I think, of all time.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I mean, the things he does, I've just never seen other actors do. It's just absolutely hilarious. And then you get to the Grinch, and he's under all this makeup and costuming that took probably hours and hours together.
Unrecognizable.
Yeah, exactly. Here you got a movie where he's unrecognizable, but yet you still get the Jim Carrey comedic physical comedy out of it. You go, yeah, that's a Jim Carrey movie. And so you still get all that great Jim Carrey stuff while, not being recognizable, Jim Carrey, and really loses himself into the role. I mean, he does the whole accent kind of and everything. Just a really great performance. It's my favorite Jim Carrey performance. And I'm a huge fan of the movie. I mean, obviously it's a great story. There's a great character arc to the Grinch being the meanest guy in Whoville, whatever, I don't know what you call him. And then he grows into being a good person or whatever, whatever. I don't know if he's even a Who. I don't know what he is. He's something else.
Good
but
Grinch.
He's just a Grinch.
There's no Grinches though. I guess he's one of a kind. But so it's a great character arc, and but the character just, even when he's supposed to be mean, he's absolutely hilarious throughout the whole thing. And that's got to be because Jim Carrey. I'm guessing he probably improvised stuff here and there, maybe, and tried different takes. And definitely, I can't see anybody else doing that role nearly as well as what Jim Carrey does. And yeah, it's just one of the most fun characters. Again, I love these comedic fun characters. Is what I think about. And yeah, this is definitely one of the best when it comes to that, because he's, like I said, even he's supposed to be a bad guy, but I love him throughout the whole thing.
I watched that film loads when I was younger. Yeah, it's a great one. It's a great character as well.
Yeah.
And you feel very sorry for the Grinch as well.
Yeah, they even do a backstory to kind of explain, which I think was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's based on Dr. Seuss's short story, whatever.
Yep.
And they did a short cartoon, of course, in the 60s or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't funny ever until now, until this movie kind of made him funny, which you never thought Grinch was being funny, but then you put Jim Carrey in there, and all of a sudden, he's a funny character.
Perfect casting there.
Yeah, I love that casting.
I think my favorite role that Jim Carrey's done is probably the one in the Truman Show.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Or Liar Liar.
Uh-huh.
That pen is blue scene. The pen is blue.
The pen is blue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'll get to it with my number 7, which is Captain Jack Sparrow.
Good.
Oh, okay.
My favorite Johnny Depp performance.
Yeah.
I've not really got too much to really say. Just a really likable and charismatic character. He can be annoying at times, but he's such a good character. He just that you easily just get over that sort of stuff. I mean, he's just Johnny Depp just plays the pirate perfectly. And the best movie pirate we've ever had, or captain, I guess.
Yeah.
And some of the quotes he comes out with are just. I'm pretty sure some of that would have been improvised.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm not the biggest fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but he definitely saves those movies for me. If he wasn't really in those films, I'm not sure I would have liked him at all.
Oh yeah, he's a huge part of why that's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why I like the films is because of that character.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So okay, we need top 5. Number 6 now.
Number 6. So we're finally finished with all the animated stuff, and now we're moving all live action.
All right.
Okay, so my first one, I'm going to go with The Man with No Name from the Sergio Leone Dollar Trilogy. Okay, so to me, when I think of westerns, it's always going to be Clint Eastwood with his hat, his poncho, and just how he always squints in every shot. He's always squinting every shot. It's just an iconic look, and of course, Clint Eastwood just does a very great job in the role. Like every time he appears on screen, you're just immediately looking at him like, what is he thinking in his head? Because again, he's not one of those characters where he doesn't say a whole lot, but when he does, so when he's not talking, you're kind of just wondering like, what's his next plan? How is he going to get out of this situation? And when he does talk, it's usually like very straightforward to the point, and he just goes out and does it. And so again, just another iconic character in a very iconic genre. So yeah, that's my number 6.
Do you have a movie of his? Do you have a favorite movie of the character?
Good, Bad, the Ugly.
Yeah, that seems like to be the one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movies. Yeah,
the other two are pretty good too, but really the last one, The Good and Bad, the Ugly, is kind of the epitome of it.
Okay.
And I've not watched any of them all the way through.
Yeah, I haven't. I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Definitely heard of them, yeah.
They look great. Like the films look great. Like you get a lot of wide shots of the landscape, and even a lot of close-ups on everyone's faces. Because that was Sergio Leone's thing. He always wanted to get good detailed look on all the faces. So that was definitely a good film if you're into cinematography.
And great music too.
Yeah, that too. Iconic stuff.
Yeah, that definitely makes a star probably, or I don't know if that's a star, but definitely is the one early one of his, Clint Eastwood, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Oh, is it me?
Okay. Yeah,
it's your turn.
I'm looking at you guys, waiting. What's going next? Oh yeah, me. Okay. Number 6. This is definitely one everybody knows. I couldn't keep him off the list, and it's Han Solo, played by Harrison Ford in the Star Wars franchise. My favorite Star Wars character, I would say. Of course, Harrison Ford, such a good actor, and he was such on fire with this movie, with this franchise, and then Indiana Jones going on pretty much at the same time. I mean, 2 major characters that he was playing. And Han Solo is just the epitome of cool, I guess, to me. Like, if you look up debonair, cool, or something like that in the dictionary, it's Harrison Ford as Han Solo.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the great hair. I love the outfit, the kind of dark outfit, usually with the vest or the jacket. Looks so cool. And he's got the blaster kind of slung to its side like a gunslinger, like an old Western. I mean, he's just so cool. I just absolutely love that character. Definitely the best character, I think. I already said that, but I mean, and I enjoy a lot of the characters in Star Wars. Yoda is obviously one that came pretty close, but Han Solo is just and he kind of has a good character arc where he's kind of a selfish person who doesn't really care about anybody, but then throughout, of course, the trilogy, he obviously does, has very close friendships with Luke, and then of course romantic relationship with Leia, and he fights for the rebellion against the Empire. Of course, in the first movie, he comes back at the end to help Luke when he looks like he's, he looks like a bad character because he leaves, but then he comes back and kind of redeems himself in that sense, because he seems like all he wants is money. He's all in for the money.
Yeah.
But he's actually a good-hearted. I guess I like characters that are good-hearted. I feel like deep down he's a good-hearted character, and I don't know. He's an action guy, and his dialogue with Leia is so good.
It's so funny at times as well.
Very funny, very sarcastic or whatever. I just love the Leia and him really hit heads at the beginning when they first meet, and just that whole interaction between those two. So good. Yeah. What can you say? Just such a great character.
You can name many characters from that franchise if you think about it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Love his relationship with Chewie.
Chewie.
Yeah, I love those two together.
Obviously, Darth Vader's great. I couldn't put him in there just because I didn't put. I took away villain type characters off my list, though I thought about it, but ultimately I went with the good guy characters, and I guess obviously Darth Vader is the most iconic character, maybe, but obviously you can't see his face or anything. But so I don't know. That's why I'd go with Han Solo.
Right. We've got this in music saying Ash Williams. Anyone? I don't even know who Ash Williams is.
Yeah, I don't know.
And also, when it comes to spaghetti westerns, I think my favorite characters are Trinity and Bambino from They Call Me Trinity.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Not heard of it either. I've got loads of films to watch here.
Same here. Of course, I think I'm way behind between the both of you.
Well, we got movies, you got music.
Yeah.
Bryer, that you can teach us probably.
Maybe.
But I guess we're going back with one number 6, which it's one that you mentioned, Jason. Darth Vader.
Okay.
I wanted to show you the DVD. I thought you were going to say Darth Vader.
Oh, really?
I know. I kind of same thing because he's right on the cover.
He's on the cover.
Yeah. the greatest movie villain of all time. You can't get any better than
Yeah.
Darth Vader when it comes to movie villains. And he really redeems himself at the end in Episode 6. And he's got a complete origin story, really. You spend so many films with that character. You feel like you know him, almost. And I think even when he was a bad guy, I don't think he was a full bad guy, though. I think there was still some good in him somewhere. And you find out in Episode 6 when he sacrificed himself for Luke, his son. Very, very, very powerful stuff there.
Yeah.
It's quite emotional towards the end as well.
Yeah.
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 But before you say you don't mean
Definitely iconic.
yeah,
Can't go wrong with Darth Vader.
you can't go wrong with Darth Vader, indeed.
Okay.
Is the main character in the Evil Dead? Ah, right.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, so I wouldn't know.
I haven't seen them.
I've heard of them though.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, I've heard the franchise, but never watched it.
It sounds like a horror franchise.
Yeah.
So I'll be getting me and Jason be getting away from that one.
Yeah. Are you a horror guy, Bryer?
Well, let's go to my number 5.
Oh. Okay, guess we'll get to it now.
All right. Yeah, it kind of segues into it.
Segue.
Yeah, so
There's so many segues today.
Yeah, so my number 5, and I'm going all the way back. I'm going all the way to the 1930s. 1930s. I'm going to talk about this guy, Dracula.
Dracula.
Wow.
Yep. So obviously, this is the Universal part of actually, I think this is the first of the Universal Monster series that Universal Pictures did. And of course, you have Bela Lugosi as the titular character, and this is really a character we kind of take for granted because when we think of vampires, it's usually this version. Whenever somebody does an impression of Dracula, it's always that very strong Hungarian accent and just that very, very slow way of talking. Like it all traces back to him. Like without this character, we wouldn't have the Count from Sesame Street. We wouldn't have Dracula from Hotel Transylvania. We wouldn't have none. We wouldn't have any of those characters. But, yeah. So yeah. I'm not gonna go too in depth because I'm pretty sure we know the basis of Dracula. He's a vampire. He sucks blood. He has many wives. He's defeated by Van Helsing. Like it's the basic story. Of course, there were actually vampire films prior to this one, but this was the first one that really got big. And so yeah, not much to say. But my number 5 is Dracula.
Wow, Dracula! I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I'm a very old soul.
A very iconic one, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I will say that's not going to be the only Universal monster in my list. Okay. But we'll get to that later.
So you're a Universal monster guy.
Yeah, I actually have this little Blu-ray box set.
Yeah, I remember you saying that, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Dracula or Frankenstein, to be honest, or The Mummy or any of those classics.
Yeah, and this collection actually has a lot of those. Has 8 movies. It has Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, The Wolf Man, and a version of Phantom of the Opera and Creatures of the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, those are the classics. I haven't watched any of them.
Yeah, they're really good. They're slow. They're slow because again, It's not like your traditional horror film nowadays where everything's just like so fast and everything's in your face. It's more about the atmosphere.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. All right, number 5.
Yeah,
number 5 for me is kind of the original Willy Wonka from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, played by the great Gene Wilder.
That's a good one.
There.
Yeah.
Not Johnny Depp, but Gene Wilder. That's Willy Wonka.
Just yes.
Yeah, I agree there.
I despise the remake.
Yeah.
It's all right.
The Tim Burton remake, but I would say Gene Wilder, one of my favorite actors, another one of my favorite comedic actors of all time, and iconic performance by him. And you love the character. He's very funny, but he's very mysterious. You don't exactly know what's going on. But he's very kind of upbeat and jovial at first when you meet him. Of course, has one of the best introductions ever for a character where he comes out with a cane and you think he's like old and feeble, and then he lets go of his cane and you think he's going to fall and he does a somersault.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the best introductions to a character. And it kind of tells you everything about that character right away.
Straight away, yeah.
I don't know what to think about this guy. He's a prankster. He's all these things, but underneath, could he be dangerous? I don't know. But yeah, so many great lines. I love stuff like too much time, too little to do. No, strike that, reverse it. Like, I always love that line because it's usually the other way around. Too little time and too much to do. Anyways, but he has a lot of great little lines like that throughout. And you have that great scene where they're going through this tunnel and it's like creepy, and he starts singing this creepy
song.
Don't know where we're going. Something flowing. Is it rain? Is it? So
used to scare me loads.
Scary moment as a kid. I was so scared of that scene.
Yeah, I was petrified.
Yeah. It's such a creepy, scary scene, but that makes you just go, "What is this guy? I don't get what's going on." And he's so nonchalant. The kids are all like in these death-defying situations, and he kind of just nonchalantly like, "Oh well, let's keep going." And you're like, not concerned at all, but you assume all the kids are okay, hopefully. But so I love that about him. Anyways, and then in the end, he's actually a really nice guy. You find out, I guess, spoilers, and he was just testing all the kids to see who was kind of pure at heart, I guess. Anyways, and such a great ending too. That that character says, what happened to the boy who got everything he wanted? Like he lived happily ever after. I don't know. Such a great overall fun character for me, Willy Wonka.
Yeah, great one. Wish I
Great
thought of that.
Yeah, I thought of that one too.
Yeah,
I didn't honestly think of that one.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's a great movie though, with great songs in.
Yeah, and a lot of great songs too.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the overall music to it, and I had to put Gene Wilder in there. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up his nonchalant part, because I really love his say stuff underneath his breath, like the part I forget when it was, but he'll like one part me and my brother always quote is the part when he just says, "No, stop, come back."
Yeah. No, stop.
Like does not try at all.
No, they didn't try at all.
I love that.
What's going to happen to her? Well, some other day, she might go to the boiler or something like that, But she's got a good fighting chance. It's like, man, she might die.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I've got my dad here saying, "What about Joey from Warhorse?"
Okay.
Yeah, great film that one.
Yeah. I've only seen it once. I think I saw that in high school.
Yeah. I don't remember much about it, but I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's a very good movie, though. Yeah. And we've got Dr. Winston O'Boogie saying, "Great box set." Yeah.
Yeah, that is a cool box set.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. And we've got my sister, she must have another channel. And Jabba the Hutt's her favourite.
Yeah.
Do you guys get Arrow video releases? I'm not sure what they are.
No, I've seen other people talk about them, but I don't know much about the Arrow.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I've got this music saying, Lon Chaney's Wolfman's a pretty cool character.
Yeah, it is.
Lon Chaney, huh?
Right, no, it's not that one. Yeah. Right. So I guess I'll move on to my number 5, which is a character from a movie that I saw just over a year ago, and it's the Shawshank Redemption's Andy Dufresne.
Okay.
The character played by Tim Robbins.
Okay. You watch Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah,
That's a rough movie.
it can be there, definitely. But it's a brilliant movie, though.
Yeah.
Can't deny that. And he's my favourite character in the film, although I do love Morgan Freeman's
Yeah.
character in this.
Yeah, he's so
He
good.
does, he does a fantastic job. But I think it's just the way that Andy Dufresne's character arc ended when he finally, spoiler alert, when he finally escaped prison. And when they reunite at the end, it definitely gets to me. It's probably this film has probably got my favorite ending of any movie. I absolutely love the ending.
Mm-hmm.
And it really do feel satisfied when Andy escapes prison, and you could just see the relief on his face. And he's a character that he changes quite a lot, but definitely for the better. It starts off being quite a weak character to end up being sort of like a leader role, really. Yeah, it's in probably my top 15 movies of all time,
Oh, okay.
and it's
Cool.
my favorite character from that film.
Yeah, he even kind of changes Morgan Freeman's character a little bit, I would say, right?
Yeah, exactly. Both, and they got excellent relationship together. Those sort of friendship with those two together.
Because I want to say, wasn't that character like he was kind of talking about hope or something like that, and the other character was like, you can't have hope here. You got to get rid of hope, but yeah, hope was very important. I think, if I remember right, to that story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a couple more things here. So, I think this is to do with the Arrow video release.
Yeah.
Okay.
We would love them.
You would love him.
And we got Lon Chaney Jr. Right.
Yeah. Thanks for the clarification. That's true.
The launch, he did the silent.
Michael.
Yeah.
Well, in The Godfather. I've not seen The Godfather, but
Me neither.
I think it's a pretty dark movie, though.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I watched that one, but I did watch the Shawshank Redemption. So who knows?
If you can watch Shawshank Redemption, you can watch The Godfather.
But Dr. Winston saying, have you heard of Dawn of the Dead? That's an Arrow video release.
Okay.
I think I've heard of that.
That's a zombie movie.
Yeah.
I've seen Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
I saw Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So, number 4, Bryer.
Number 4. Okay, I'm not going to go too in depth because I think one of us might go more in depth later, but I'm going with Rocky Balboa for my number 4. Okay, so I was actually pretty late into the Rocky craze because actually the first Rocky film I saw was the 6th one where it was just called Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
And that was really because my dad kind of forced me and my brother to watch it. And I was like 12 at the time, so I had no idea what was going on. I had no interest in boxing at all, so I didn't really click then. It wasn't until actually not that long ago, I'd say 2 years ago, where I actually sat down and watched the first film. And yeah, that film kind of that's when it clicked. Okay, I get it now. Because in the film he starts out as this kind of small time boxer, just boxing in small clubs, but then gets the chance to pretty much out of nowhere just gets the chance to fight in the big ring with Apollo Creed. And so now he has to he has to really train for it. And you're he's when you look at him, he's this big guy, but throughout moments, especially when he's with Adrian, you see a more softer, more very hard, more kinder soul underneath the rough exterior. And so you kind of root. That's kind of enough to help make you root for him. And you see him training. Of course, they play the awesome montage music. And and even though I'm not much of a sports guy personally, but even when you hear that music, you just want to just get up and exercise. And just go running.
Very motivational.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe not the egg part, but maybe the running. Just maybe. I'll just cook it. I'll just cook the eggs. but yeah, you're just rooting for him the whole time. And by the end of the film, even though he doesn't technically win, he still has Adrian. He won Adrian, and to him, that's the most important thing. And so yeah, number 4 is Rocky for me.
Man, great choice.
Yeah.
got a whole box set of the Rocky films I've got to watch.
Right.
You haven't seen them?
I've only seen, I think, the first half an hour of the original, but I was only about 12 when I watched it. And I think I fell asleep while I was watching it.
Okay.
But I think if I watch it now, I think I'll probably really love it.
Yeah, maybe we talked about that before, that you had that and hadn't watched it yet.
Yeah, on Pete's channel.
On Pete's channel. Okay. That's it. We just talked about that.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, definitely you got to watch Rocky, especially the first one, but the whole series is pretty good in general, and the Creed series. So
Yeah.
You got to guess it. Remember?
My dad's saying, not sure if I missed this, but someone said James Bond. No, I've not said James. No one said James Bond. He could appear later. Who knows? And we got, what's your favourite sci-fi movie? Dr. Winton asks. I'll let you go first, Jason.
favorite sci-fi movie. That's interesting. Sci-fi is such a wide genre in some senses, because almost superhero movies are somewhat sci-fi. Back to the Future, I don't know if you count that as a sci-fi.
I think so.
Yeah,
There's science in it.
Because Back to the Future would probably be my number one on that choice.
Alien. You're like this. What's that?
It does with time travel and all that.
Cool.
Absolutely love Back to the Future and the whole trilogy.
Mine would be the Star Wars original trilogy.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, I'll just stick with Wally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to think of other ones that I've seen, but nothing's coming.
Yeah, Back to the Future is great.
Mm-hmm.
I got this is music saying, "Rock is that 4? Yeah.
Yep.
Rocky 4's amazing soundtrack. Yeah, I love the song "Burning Heart."
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a great rock song, and Vince Dakola's synth score is great. I know most of the songs from those films. I just not really seen them yet.
Oh yeah, great song. Gonna Fly Now.
Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger. Yeah.
Dr. Winston O'Boogie saying to my dad, "I'm from Newcastle, near there, very, very, very close to Newcastle. In fact, we're going there tomorrow for a concert. Don McLean."
Nice.
Yeah. And
You're number 4 now.
no, I think we're on number 4 now.
For me.
Are we?
Yeah. Yeah, we're on Jason now.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
So you're
I know Adam will agree with this one. Maybe Bryer. This is my favorite character in the MCU, and that is Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, played by Robert Downey Jr. And to my collection, he's played the character 9 times, I believe, in all the MCU movies. I want to say,
I'd have to count.
yeah, well, because 3 Iron Man movies, 4 Avenger movies, Spider-Man: Homecoming, and Captain America.
I think 9. Yeah.
Captain America: Civil War. So I count about 9. Well, he plays a pretty major character in all those. The only other one I think maybe plays as much as maybe Chris Hemsworth has played Thor. I think maybe 9 times now, since he has a 4th Thor movie that just came out. Something like that. So I mean, it's one of the most played characters I've ever seen an actor play. I mean, not too many actors play a character that many times. And Robert Downey Jr. just totally nails it. One of the best casting choices I've ever seen. And to be honest, I didn't really know much about Robert Downey Jr. until Iron Man. Like, I heard about him as an actor. I mostly knew him as a guy who went to jail for drug charges. He was always in legal trouble in the 90s, I want to say. And that's so he's kind of always known for bad things. I always knew him for. And I didn't really watch too many movies with him. And then when Iron Man came out and it's Robert Downey Jr., I'm like, Robert Downey Jr., why him? You know, I thought that was weird casting. And then I watched the movie, and from the very first scene where he's like in the back of this military car, and he's just cracking jokes with these military people.
Straight away, yeah.
It just, right away you're like, oh my gosh, like this character is so funny. He's so quick-witted. So much charisma, I mean, you just love him right away. I guess or you're just glued to him right away. You're just like, wow, what is this character? And I was just blown away by Robert Downey Jr. I was like, wow, this guy's a really good actor. I mean, amazing comedic timing. I mean, absolutely hilarious in the role, and also some serious moments as well. And has kind of and it's a great character arc. In the first one I'm talking about, I guess the first Iron Man movie. Again, going from a guy who was a selfish kind of playboy, sleeps around, just makes a lot of money and blows it on all kinds of cars and huge house, and not a terrible person necessarily, but he's just kind of full of himself, I guess I would say. And then the moment when he gets captured and has to go through the cave, or he's in a cave captured by a terrorist, and him going through that, all of that, and coming back, it really humbles him and totally makes the character a really likable character, where he's a very selfless kind of character, and he wants to use his powers, his technology for good and helping people. And I love, the moment that Pepper Potts, whatever I think her name is, played by Gwyneth Paltrow, is like, she doesn't like him going out and helping people and risking his life, and he has this moment where he's like, I finally found who I am, this is, I love that moment where it's like he finally found purpose in his life, and that's helping other people and using that to save lives. And so I just love that character arc with him. And then throughout all the movies, it's just, to me, the greatest character. Like I said, just always absolutely hilarious. Robert Downey Jr. went from a guy I didn't really care about to being one of my favorite actors today because of this role. And this definitely made him one of the best actors out there, one of the A-listers. Like I said, kind of similar to what I said about Ryan Reynolds. I feel like Robert Downey Jr.'s career really took off after Iron Man, because it was like, okay, a bankable star that we can make money off of. And,
yeah, he's one of the highest grossing stars now.
yeah, I enjoy mostly anything. Anytime he's in a movie, I'm like, oh, I'll watch it because I want to see what Robert Downey Jr. is going to do next. And I would say in Avengers Endgame, I really thought he should have gotten a nomination for Best Actor. I thought his performance was so good, especially the very end, of course. He has a very dramatic scene at the end of that movie. Very
emotional.
Yeah, very emotional. I mean, I cried like crazy. And also that relationship he has with Peter Parker, so good. I love that. He has almost, I don't know if you call it father-son relationship or uncle-nephew, where he's very...
Something like that.
And that's great for the character, because he's very torn about what happens to Peter Parker in Infinity War. And that kind of haunts him, and that causes him to, he almost doesn't want to have anything to do with the Avengers, but because of being haunted by what happened to Peter Parker, somebody who he personally brought into the Avengers and seen, and because he's, a teenager, he feels very bad what happened to him. And that causes him to come back to the Avengers and save the world. I mean, the guy saves the world. I mean, what can you say? I mean, what's a better character than that? He sacrifices his life for the
whole world,
for half of the world or whatever. That's absolutely, or the whole world, really. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely amazing character arc, and Robert Downey Jr. just totally nails that character. And I'm sorry to see it go, but I absolutely love that Tony Stark character.
Yeah, fantastic choice, and he'll be on my list shortly.
Well, I know me and you have talked about him being our favorite MCU character, so.
I got Dr. Winston saying a while about the Don McLean concert. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I would love to see a Silver Surfer movie. That'll be cool.
Yeah, that's a good character they could bring back.
Yeah, but I guess we'll now move on to my number 4. And I've got a prop for this.
Here's the prop.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yoda. I can't see in this though.
Am I missing your eyes?
Is this a screen? No, it's not.
How many fingers am I holding up?
You can take it off. I can't sort with it on really.
Can you do it as Yoda's voice?
No, I can't really do it. I was going to, but I don't know where to start.
Start from the beginning, I will.
Doing Yoda's voice song or not. But, yeah, Amazing character,
So I understand
Yoda.
they're wearing it or you're commenting.
No, it's gonna put me off.
Am I Chewbacca or
I hope someone comes in right.
Judge me by my size, you two.
That's actually really good.
That's
I said
good.
that when we come
Was it you that did it, Mum?
out?
Anyway. Yeah, he's my favourite Star Wars character.
And here's why.
I think he's always been my favourite Star Wars character.
Yeah.
And he's a very, very wise character as well. And amazing quotes and just you learn amazing life lessons from him. And he's great using the lightsaber as well. And
Yeah.
I think he's great in every movie. And he's a pretty consistent character as well.
Consistent.
Yeah,
You're just nice all the time.
nice and wise all the time. Yeah.
Very wise.
Mhm.
And when he passes away in episode 6, yeah, that really got to me.
Yeah.
I think it's probably the saddest scene in Star Wars. Definitely, well, that and Order 66.
Yeah.
And he goes into hiding, but after that happens, and he's all by himself for years.
Yeah.
Then until he met Luke, and training him. Yeah, great character there. You can't really go wrong with Yoda. Even though I've got three of the characters I prefer.
Oh yeah, Yoda's up there for me. Yeah, it's one of the best Star Wars characters. I saw he had Baby Yoda in the background, so I kind of thought Yoda would come.
Grogu,
Yeah.
the child.
Grogu.
This is the way.
Does it work?
I don't think it's got the batteries in it.
Batteries run out, are they?
I didn't know there were any.
Hmm.
Oh, any?
I bet
not
you have
sure.
to get that going then.
I kind of like the Yoda more as a Muppet in the original trilogy.
Yeah,
I
I
do
agree.
as a CGI character, but
And we got what Dad's saying. Yoda died in episode 6. Yeah, thought to be spoiled. Haha. I'm sorry about that.
yeah,
Should have said spoiler alert. But I guess we're in the top 3 now.
Oh yeah.
Right, Bryer, what's your number 3?
Number 3. Okay, we've got another villain here. We're going to 1960. We're
1960.
going to talk about Norman Bates from Psycho.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Psycho is probably my favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
Like, I remember when I first saw that. Like, my eyes literally did not leave the screen the entire time. Like, my mom checked on me one time, and I couldn't even look at her in the face because I was just so enthralled with the story and all. So yeah, Norman Bates is my choice. When you first meet him, you can tell something's off about him, but you know, he's kind of like he's just shy. He's just introverted, so he just has a weird hobby. I mean,
Weird hobby, yeah.
yeah, we all have weird hobbies. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah. Yes, but yeah. Of course, I will admit I did know he was the killer going into Psycho, but what really blew it out of the water was how they revealed it. Because I did not expect how they revealed it. Because I knew he was the killer, but when kind of a spoiler, when he first comes in, he's dressed like his mother. Like that was like, what the heck's going on? Yeah, but then in the last act, they had to explain everything because for 1960, like that's got to be something like nobody would really understand what the hell is going on. Good. Yeah. So, but it was just so kind of groundbreaking for the time, and you know, Anthony Perkins just a very incredible performance. Just he can play like the kind of the innocent, but when he's like all sinister, even in scenes where you can see it's fading out to the next scene, but you just see him like do a little smirk as it's fading to the next scene, and it's just like that little small attention, little small details there that Anthony does a great job in. So yeah, not much else to say. Just again, great performance, Norman Bates from Psycho.
Nice, right?
Man, such a great performance.
Yeah.
I love that performance. I don't know if that ruined him from other movies and got him typecast?
Yeah, I kind of did. He kind of got typecasted after that.
Because I never really seen him in anything else.
Yeah, I heard I know he did like many sequels to
Yeah, he did.
Psycho. I heard the second one's actually not bad.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I know.
But I love that line. Boy's best friend is his mother, and it's like, okay, something's a little weird about.
Yeah, we all go slightly mad
I like
sometimes.
my. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, guys.
Yeah. Now you're talking. That's what Dr. Swenson said. Frank Drebin, anyone?
Frank Drebin.
Drebin? Who's he?
Naked Gun movies.
Oh.
Ah, right.
I haven't seen it.
Leslie Nielsen.
Cool.
That's a good character.
So you're in number 3, Jason.
All right. I don't know if Bryer looked at my list before or somehow he knew, but number 3 is Rocky.
What? No, I'm just kidding.
Did you know I was gonna say Rocky or
No. I totally knew.
you totally knew?
I knew you were going to talk about him.
Really? I talked about it before.
Yeah, you talked about him before.
Okay.
Yeah,
Several times, I think. Yeah.
several times. Yeah.
Oh, okay. When you said, "Oh, I think it's gonna come up later," I'm like, "How does he know that? Does he know something?" But yeah, Rocky Balboa from the Rocky franchise, played by Sylvester Stallone. Like I said, done the character 8 times, maybe. Yeah. 6 Rocky movies and 2 Creed movies, I want to say. Totally nails that character, and it's such great casting, especially when Sylvester Stallone also wrote the character. So I was like, man.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I think he won Oscar for best screenplay.
Yeah, he wrote the screenplay for Rocky. Maybe a lot of the Rocky movies. I'm sure he directed. He directed quite a bit of the Rocky movies as well. If I remember.
Yeah.
I know he didn't. I know he didn't direct the first one though.
Yeah, he didn't direct the first one, but he did some directing and probably wrote a lot of the movies. I'm sure. I know he wrote the screenplay, and Sylvester Stallone wasn't a known actor at the time, and wrote the screenplay.
Rocky. Yeah.
What's that?
Until Rocky.
Yeah, until Rocky. And that really blew up, of course. It was Best Picture winner, 1976. He was nominated for Best Actor. So, I mean, go from like a nobody to an Oscar nomination actor and screenplay and all that. I mean, it's pretty nice when you can write a great character for yourself. I mean, and that's what he did. He wrote one of the best characters, I think, ever. I mean, it's the ultimate underdog story and character. He has no business being in the ring with Apollo. But then the idea that I can't beat him, but if I can go toe to toe with him, like that would be a great success for me. And he doesn't want to be a bum from the neighborhood. He wants to do something, I think, with his life. What Bryer said was perfect. I mean, I agree with everything he said about the character. In fact, I was like, oh man, he beat me to it, because I was going to say the same thing about how vulnerable he is. I love that. He's tough guy, very vulnerable, very nice though, good-hearted. He tries to help other people. He works for a loan shark guy, but he doesn't want to break people's thumbs or whatever. He doesn't want to be a violent person like that. He helps this girl who's hanging out with these boys, and he tries to give her advice. I mean, so he goes out his way to help people. I love that about the character. And he always fights for what's right. And I love the love relationship between him and Adrian, because she's kind of a mousy, shy girl. But for a reason, he's like really attracted to her, and he really wants to go out with her. And I just love that moment at the end where he's all beat up and he's yelling, Adrian, and here
great impression, that one.
And they want to talk to him about the fight, and he's just like, Adrian, like he doesn't care. All he cares about is Adrian at that moment. And Adrian comes out and, I love you, Rocky. I love you. Like what a great ending to that that movie for that character. It's about his relationship with her, not about being a boxing star, in my opinion. And yeah, And he's also very humorous. I love his humor throughout the whole movie. Very likable guy, likable character throughout the whole series, I think, and great performance by Sylvester Stallone.
I've really got to watch Rocky soon then.
Yeah,
We've been talking about it, and made me want to watch it.
yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
I already explained some of the scenes from it for you.
I'll try and block it from my memory.
Okay.
Yeah. Before I said my number 3 has got a few things here. So Acid Rain did a song about not no one baits called Medley Love. So I was like, I can remember. I'm not familiar with that song.
Do you know them, Bryer?
No, I don't. Sounds
And the
interesting.
film Rollerball's a great film. I don't think I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I think it's a James Caan movie in the 70s, I think.
Ah, right.
I haven't seen it, but
And this is music said Prince Bolton is a very enjoyable character. He's funny and has some iconic lines. But when I first saw that, I thought I said Prince William.
Oh,
that was Prince Vulcan. I was like, what? Oh, Voltan. Okay.
I don't think I know who he is.
yeah,
Do you know who he is?
No.
I don't know. It sounds like a character from Star Trek.
Sounds like
Yeah,
it.
it does.
I'm thinking of Vulcan, yeah.
Prince Vulcan. Okay.
So I'll go my number 3, which one that you mentioned, Jason. It's about time it shows up, and that's Tony Stank. Yeah, Tony Stark. Iron Man. Yeah. Mhm.
You got me there. Like, what?
Great Stanley moment there.
Yeah.
That is a great, just amazing character of Iron Man. Perfect casting with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. And it must have come out of nowhere before people saw the film, really. They're probably thinking, why is he playing Iron Man? But then you watch the film and then you see why. He just does such an amazing job. And he's a really well written character. It starts off in the film just being very funny and just likable, although he's a very selfish person. And then towards the end of the film, he's sacrificed himself for the world. Yeah. And then raising a family.
Yeah.
Yeah. With what happened to him at the end of Avengers Endgame, is very, very emotional stuff. I was crying quite a bit when I saw it in the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite superhero character.
Yeah.
Just amazing job Robert Downey Jr. does. And he's one of my favorite actors because of this film as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess we'll move on to I think we've got something else first though. Right. His character Flash Gordon.
Oh.
I think I know who he is now.
Oh man, I have the soundtrack too.
Oh, yeah. The Queen soundtrack, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I dropped some stuff while doing that.
I don't even think I've seen an episode of Flash Gordon.
I think I've
I just
seen
know the song.
I know Ted made a huge deal about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because the guy was played by a football player or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good soundtrack though, right, Bryer?
Yeah, pretty good.
Rick here saying hi guys. Sorry I'm late. My visitor just left.
Hey, Rich.
Hey Rick,
Hey, Rich.
that's all right. I'm glad to see you. Hopefully you'll be here to see our favorite movie character.
Yeah, I already see our favorite.
Yep, we're in our top 2 now.
Top 2.
Top 2. All right,
See you
guys.
first, Bryer. Yep.
All right, guys. I'll be back to get a drink and talk about my number 2, which is Terminator.
You'll be back.
You'll be back.
Yeah. I saw that joke there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah.
I think we all did.
Of course. I wish it didn't drunk so quickly, but
I know, I was gonna say.
regardless, Terminator's number 2. I mean, this is pretty much Arnold Schwarzenegger's best role, in my opinion. I mean, when you think of Terminator, it's always going to be Arnold. I mean, in the first movie, he's the bad guy in the first film, and he's just this ruthless killing machine where he'll just stop at nothing to get his prey. Even when he's just stripped down as just an endoskeleton, and he's just crawling towards Sarah Connor, like he just won't quit. But then in the second one, they change things up. Now Arnold's the good guy now, so because up from a different timeline, and so now you're kind of like. Because I kind of picture when people first heard Terminator 2 and they knew Arnold's coming back, I'm pretty sure many thought he was going to be the bad guy and the other Terminator was going to be the good guy. That's kind of nice how they kind of revealed it, especially towards the beginning with that little showdown between the two.
Yeah,
which is kind of funny. I'm kind of a side thing here, but one thing about that scene is that you see Arnold holding roses, I think. And he has a gun, and he has his gun, which is supposed to be a little nod to Guns N' Roses, who did this. Who
really?
Did a song? Yeah, because they did a song for the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you Can Be Mine was the song. I don't think it was in the movie, but
I don't remember a song. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't in the movie, but it was for it. But little side note there. But anyway, so now Arnold's the good guy, and it was kind of cool is that. Throughout that movie, you kind of see him start to learn the value of human life, because he's like learning human behavior, like crying and smiling and all that, especially the smiling part. Yeah, but he forms this great relationship with John Connor. That's just pretty. That's kind of nice that's really nice to watch. And he slowly starts to earn Sarah Connor's earn her trust as well, which is great. And of course, I mean, not much else to say, but again, awesome character. I mean, the one-liners alone just cemented his relevance, his pop culture relevancy. Because I'll be back, I'll hasta la vista, like all those great lines.
Yeah, all those quotes.
Yeah. So number 2 is the Terminator.
Yeah. Don't you feel like he does a lot without talking in that movie?
Yeah.
Just with the look. I mean,
exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what makes it so great.
It was close being in my top 10, just outside of there for me.
Yeah. Again, I didn't go with the dark characters from my list. I went a little more lighthearted.
That's fine. You gotta have some levity.
Yeah.
All right. My number 2.
Yep, sure is.
All right. One of my favorite movies of all time. And one of my favorite actors. I had to put this character in here, and is George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life, played by Jimmy Stewart. Absolutely love this movie. One of my favorite movies of all time, of course. Classic, obviously. I have 3 Christmas movies I guess I really like Christmas movies.
Who doesn't?
They're all about good things, good, good-hearted, being nice to people and all that, and good time family and friends and all that. But yeah, absolutely love this character. Jim Stewart's one of my favorite actors. Another one of my favorite actors of all time. Love anytime he's in a movie. So charismatic. And this character, what I love about the character is how selfless he is, how he's willing to sacrifice what he wants for other people. And I love those kind of characters that sacrifice themselves for others. I think that's like the greatest thing you can do in life in general is making sacrifices. I love the character from the very beginning as a boy. He wants to go travel the world. He wants to get away from Bedford Falls. He doesn't want to get married or settle down. He just wants to go and have fun. And then you get to where he's in college or he's just graduating from college, I think. And he's got this trip planned and all this, but then his dad dies. And so, and he has this business, the Bailey Loans business. And he doesn't want to take over his dad's business. He doesn't want to be that kind of guy. He wants to travel. He doesn't want to sit in an office. But his dad dies, so then he can't go on his big trip. So then he helps out with the business. He doesn't want to take it over, but then they tell him if he doesn't, then Mr. Potter is going to take over the business. And if you know Mr. Potter, he's the meanest, selfish, greedy businessman in town who owns everything except for Bailey Loans. And you don't want him in charge because then he'll ruin the whole town. because he'll charge high prices for stuff. And so when he knows Mr. Potter's going to take over, he decides to take over the business, something he never wanted to do, but he does it to help out the people of Bedford Falls. Of course, he gets married, has kids, and he really likes doing that. And throughout just the whole movie, he just does that. He always makes those kind of sacrifices for his friends and family. And then you get to the end, where the third act, where he sees what his life is like if he never was born, and you see how bad Bedford Falls goes. Everybody's in a terrible shape. The whole town's in terrible shape. It goes to hell basically because Mr. Potter just ruins everything, and you see how much effect he has on people's lives, and I just love that idea behind that. How you think you're not worth anything, but then it turns out no, you are worth something. You do have an important impact on people, even if you don't know it. And like one of my favorite parts is at the beginning of the movie, his younger brother Harry falls through some ice and almost drowns, and he jumps in and saves his brother. And his brother goes on to World War II and becomes a war hero, and he saves the lives of a bunch of other soldiers on a aircraft or something. And at the end, and if he was never alive, his brother Harry would have died in that, would have drowned and died. And if Harry died, all those people would have died in World War II that he saved. So that's such a great moment where he realizes just by saving Harry, he saved a bunch of other lives and all this anyways. And I said, he's such a great character. He's very funny at times, also very dramatic at times, of course, has those dramatic moments. But he's always so likable, and he's one of those characters I want to be like that guy. I want to be a guy that, sacrifices for others, who's definitely puts being kind to others above everything else. I always think like Mr. Potter, he's this mean old guy. He has no friends. Nobody likes him. He's very rich, but he's miserable all the time. He never smiles. He never looks like he's happy, but he's rich. You think he should be happy, but no, he's just like this miserable old guy. All cares about his business. Contrast with George Bailey, who's poor. He has a big family, but he has tons of friends. And at the very end, all his friends come together to help him. And I think that's what I want my life to be like. I want to be somebody who puts his friends above money and greed and all that. And hopefully, if in my times of trouble, it's always my friends that come to help me. And it's such a great message and great character.
Well,
Great pick.
I'm gonna watch that movie. Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. I started talking, and I thought I saw a blank face on you guys. And I thought, I don't know if you know this movie.
There seems to be loads of stuff put into that movie.
Yeah, it's been a while since I last saw that movie.
It sounds very good though. I've got to watch it at some point.
Yeah.
Greatest, in my opinion.
It's a good one.
Obviously a classic.
Mm-hmm.
What year did it come out?
1946, I think, or 47.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
George Bailey is also a great character. Great movie, one of his favorites as well.
1946, yeah.
Great to see that Rich had it as one of his favorites as well. Cool. So I guess we'll get to my number 2. My second favorite movie character. And it's my favorite role from Tom Hanks, and that's Forrest Gump. Amazing character. He's done a lot in his life in that Forrest Gump movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when he's a boy, all the way to when he's spoiler alert, when he's got a son, and just a really, really well written character. He goes through so many emotions in the movie. He just feels like a normal human being, just someone that just puts others before him, really, and helps them no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if it means putting himself in danger. Just an amazing character, and that's one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Is that perfect casting, the perfect character? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a good one. He's an honorable mention for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great character.
Yeah, just to make an amazing movie as well. I watched it fairly recently, and it was just as amazing as I remembered it being.
Yeah, I saw it in theater
Wow.
back in '94, so I was like
Yeah,
11 years
94.
old. I felt like I was a little too young for some of the parts, but I enjoyed the movie even then.
Yeah, I mean, Forrest Gump, he goes around. He met
Yeah.
Elvis, he met John Lennon, he
John
was
F.
a
Kennedy.
ping pong champion.
Yeah. He did all sorts in his life.
Says I
And
went
he
to the White House again, met the president again.
and he was running, doing running loads.
And
that
oh
scene
yeah,
when he's getting-
just running.
And that scene when he's getting food in the buffet.
The
I
what?
think he's in the buffet and in the scene. I think he gets loads of food or something. He eats loads of food and
Drinks the Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. I gotta pee.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Another great soundtrack too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got it on vinyl.
Do you?
I
Wow.
love it that much. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
The songs though, not the instrumentals, although I love the score for the film as well.
Yeah.
You got Dr. Winston saying "Hey Rich," and Rich said "Hey Dr. Winston."
Dr.
And says Dr. Winston said Forrest Gump is fantastic. And Rich said "Does Forrest Gump too? Great role for Tom Hanks. Definitely is. I think you guys love 1950s sci-fi, Day the Earth Stood Still, etc.
Yeah.
I feel like that movie. A lot of people mentioned it in the space theme contest they did for me.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah. So I think we're ready for our number one. Our favorite
Right.
movie characters.
Yeah.
Brian, what's your favorite movie character?
Number
Number
one.
That's great.
Just a little callback there.
That's a great callback.
Yeah, little
Yeah.
go back to your
All right.
channel, Jason.
Okay, so my number one, again going back to the 30s,
Wow.
with Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, so you can have another one.
Yeah. So I had another one,
I
and here
forgot.
he is, Frankenstein,
Oh,
again
wow.
played by Boris Karloff. Again, for that time, the makeup was very impressive for its time, and so this is a film I'm pretty sure, again, another story I'm pretty sure we're pretty familiar with. Mad scientist wants to create life, but something goes wrong. He takes the brain from a serial killer and then puts it into the creature. And then when it comes alive, he's disappointed with it. He's like, it's not how I wanted it to be. And so he kind of disowns it. And so because of that, it's like the scientist's henchman keeps torturing it. And then it eventually escapes, and it tries to kind of, it's like trying to, make sense of the world. And so he's trying to find companionship, but either people are too afraid of him, or his naivety kind of messes things up. Like he accidentally drowns a girl by accident, even though he was trying to play with her.
Uh-huh.
And so that riles the town up even more. And so throughout this movie, and even in the sequel, Bride of Frankenstein, you really feel you feel bad for him, because again, he's trying to make sense of the world, but the world just keeps trying to bring him down, like trying to get rid of him. And so all that negative energy is just rubbing off on him. He's becoming the monster that people are making him out to be. And it kind of goes into the second film, where he tries again to find a companionship, where another scientist comes in, tries to make a bride for him, like a wife, but even that doesn't go well. And so by the end of it, he's just like I think it's just better off I'm just no longer in this world. And so he just, again, kind of a spoiler, but he kind of tries to kill himself. And of course they would make more Frankenstein movies, so he doesn't die, but again, it's a very sympathetic character that, because of society, he kind of became the creature that he is. So just really great storytelling, and kind of a great tragedy as well, if you think about it. So my number one is Frankenstein.
It's alive.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's alive. Yeah.
Alive.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Great
Yeah.
choice there.
Mhm.
I wasn't
I feel like-
expecting that one.
One of the first is that the first big monster movie or
I think Dracula came first, and
Oh, okay.
Frankenstein came second though.
okay.
But yeah, Dracula got rolling, but I think Frankenstein where it's like, yeah, we're making money off this. Let's keep going with this.
Okay. 'Cause I think it's from 1931. I want to say
Yes, yeah, I think so.
somewhere in there. I remember AFI's when they did the first top 100 favorite or top 100 movies. Frankenstein was in the first one, but then when they redid it, I don't think it wasn't in the second top 100. But so it must have been thought of pretty highly to be in AFI's top 100.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again, it's another character that doesn't talk really at all.
Yeah, he
throughout
doesn't
the
really
movie.
talk, does he?
Like in the second, yeah, he just always kind of making noises because he
Yeah.
doesn't know how to speak. In the second one, he does gains the ability to speak,
Oh, really?
but even that, when he's not speaking, that's really where the character really shines to me, because it's all down to Boris Karloff's like facial expressions and how he's gesturing. Like it's good like nonverbal communication.
Yeah.
Great choice. Dr. Winston Nobudi said Beatles #1, Bryer. Fantastic
Yeah.
choice.
That's a
Fantastic
good
choice.
compilation.
CD.
I thought the Beatles was my favorite character for a second,
Yeah.
and then I remembered the
Yeah.
Ringo Starr's your favourite character.
That's not too far off.
That's not a bad choice.
Always had a soft spot for Ringo.
Definitely.
Mm.
I like Ringo's new EP as well.
I have to say,
yeah.
Adam, it looks like Yoda's watching us during this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watching he is.
He's just hanging out watching.
Just watches.
He's watching the stream.
Mm.
He wants to see what our favourites are.
Yeah.
So what's your favourite movie character, Jason?
All right. Well, I'm with you, Adam. Forrest Gump. It's my favorite character,
Right.
played by Tom Hanks. Number one, again, yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time. One of the best characters. Tom Hanks is like my favorite actor of all time. And this was my favorite performance of his. Of course, won the Oscar for Best Actor. Totally deserved. The performance is absolutely amazing. He totally loses himself in there. I mean, of course, he has the accent and everything. And it's one of those movies I forget it's Tom Hanks. I'm just like, it's Forrest Gump, you know? And then I have to go, oh, yeah, that's Tom Hanks. I mean, it's just amazing how he just loses himself into that character.
It feels like an actual person.
Yeah, it feels like just a person. I love the character because, like, I think you said a lot about I don't think he's never mean to anybody, and he gets picked on throughout the movie
Several times, yeah.
Yeah, which is sad, but he's sad, of course, at moments when certain people die. He's obviously had some really sad moments in the movie, but for the most part, he's a very positive person, I would say, and it's always nice to everybody, even Lieutenant Dan, who kind of treats him kind of terribly at times. Kind of a jerk to him, but he's always nice to Lieutenant Dan, I think, and I really like that about him. And he's true to his word. When Bubba, his best friend, he goes into the shrimping business because of him, and gives money to his family because it's kind of a promise he made to, I think, to Bubba, that they would share that how much money they made off of the shrimping business. So you love that about the character. He's just totally one of the most likable characters I think ever in cinema.
I agree.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he goes 100%. Anytime he does something, he doesn't think about anything but, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to do it 100% to my best ability. And I don't know, there's something about that character trait that I really love. He goes to play football, and he doesn't know how to play football, but he just like, I'm going to run as fast as I can in a straight line.
Well, he did.
even go beyond the touchdown because I don't, I just know I'm going to run fast. That's all I know about. When he goes to the Vietnam War, I love this moment where everybody has to put their gun together, and Bubba's sitting there talking to him, I think, and he's not going real fast. He's just kind of.
And Forrest does it. Yeah, he does it really quick.
Oh, Forrest is just like I always feel like Forrest just like in his mind, I'm going to do this as fast as possible. Everybody else is thinking, who cares? How fast you go.
He puts the goal into everything he does.
This is just some dumb thing we have to do. Put this gun together, And I've had those moments when I'm at work. I don't always go the fastest. I'm thinking, man, once I get this done, I have to do something else. So why go fast and all that? I'm gonna take my time, so this will take longer. But I just love that about him, yeah. And in the Vietnam War scene, he saves a bunch of lives. Doesn't think about his own. All he thinks about is saving Bubba. That's his number one on his mind during those scenes. And then the way he treats Jenny's not always the greatest to him, though she's very nice to him at the beginning, and that's why he falls in love with her. He falls in love with her from, a kid from 10 years old or whatever to the rest of his life. That's the only person he ever loves is Jenny. And Jenny leaves him, constantly, it seems like, during the movie, and they're constantly apart, but yet he always wants to get back together with Jenny. Anytime he sees him, that's the best part of the movie for him, is being with Jenny. He loves Jenny so much. And I love that because he loves Jenny, he's willing to put up with, I guess, the stuff that she does, and ends up coming a really good relationship at the end. They do come together at the end and get married. So, I love that, all that. And yeah, it's and he's funny at times without trying to be funny. Very somewhat naive because he's not very smart, but yet even though he's not very smart, he does way more than anybody else will do in their lifetime. Like you said, he does so much, travels, meets so many people. So yeah, it's number one for me.
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with that one.
So yeah, I'm glad you said that too, Adam. That I agree. That's one of the best.
But briefly talk about Dr. Winston Loves Ringo. Great film. Well, yeah, I'm assuming he's on about Forrest Gump. And Rich said Lieutenant Dan's a cool dude too.
Yeah,
definitely. He has really, really great character arc, especially towards the end of the film. He's got a very redemptive character arc there. And Dr. Winston, no boogie saying, it's gotta go, guys. Let me know when you do the next stream. I'll try my best too. The 6-year-old guy needs his beauty sleep, lol.
Yeah.
Are you on Facebook, Dr. Winston? Because you can join one of our streams if you want.
That was good, isn't it?
Rich said bye, Winston, and then Dr. Winston said later, Rich. Okay. Alright, I guess I get to my number one.
Right, the next prop.
So far, I've got Frankenstein before we go.
The prop there.
Yep.
Now we've got Indiana Jones.
All right. Yeah.
There we go.
My favourite movie character.
They could have guessed. Would that have been your guess?
It could have been Clint Eastwood's character.
Yeah, or Sam Neill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Grant.
Yeah, it could have been for that as well. Can't really see with it on though. Too big.
This is in the way. I'll wear it.
This is in the way. But a fantastic character, Indiana Jones. And even when I was a kid, he was my favourite movie character.
Okay.
I think he's always been, and it's one of the reasons why Harrison Ford's one of my favourite actors.
You used to pretend you were him.
Yeah, I used to pretend I was Indiana Jones. I wanted to be like an archaeologist, just
you're
like
running
him.
around in year 5.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, those old days. And I can't wait for the new Indiana Jones film. And he's just such a really funny and just really, really cool character. It might not be the best written one. I think Forrest Gump's probably the best written character, but I just find it hard to
They're all action-packed, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all action-packed movies. They're all adventure movies with action and romance and all sorts of genres in those movies, really. And Indiana Jones is one of my favorite franchises. I can't get enough of them.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest fan of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but I still think Harrison Ford does a great performance in that one, though.
You
Yeah.
never get bored of watching Indiana Jones. Do you?
No, I could watch those films loads over and over. Oh, and Dr. Winston said he might join the live stream at some point. Yeah, it was nice to have comments from you, Dr. Winston. Take care, everyone. Take care to you
Sure,
too.
Are you excited for the 5th movie then?
Yeah, I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah.
I don't even think we've got an official trailer for it yet. I think we just got a reveal trailer.
It's been a long time coming, hasn't it? Like,
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
waiting a few years for this one.
It's been a while, probably.
I'm glad to see that he's back in it, not somebody else playing him.
Yeah. I don't think Shia LaBeouf is coming back. I don't think.
What as Mutt Williams?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure.
I don't know, but
Just an amazing character.
yeah, great character.
Amazing choices we all went with, really.
Yeah, we got some different choices in there. That was good.
Forrest Gump playing
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
And then we all have agreement on a couple.
Indiana Gump
Like Indiana Jones,
That would be wild.
or Forrest Jones.
Forrest Jones.
Not sure if that movie would work, but I'd still watch it if they did that, though.
Yeah, belongs in a museum. I don't know how to do it.
It's something like that. I might have to look up Indiana Jones quotes right now.
I know, I'm thinking Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Snakes.
find some
Snakes.
there.
It had to be
Bear with
snakes.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one. We can go through our honorable mentions first.
So we're in honorable mentions now?
Yeah, you can go first, Bryer.
All right. I'll go through these pretty quickly. Some of them both of you have said at some points. So Darth Vader was one. Forrest Gump was another one.
okay, good.
Yeah. I also have Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Harry. I also had Harry Callahan from Dirty Harry. Ferris Bueller. So a couple more iconic horror characters like Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger.
Wow.
Yeah.
oh my god.
And then why not? I know he's only appeared in one feature-length film, and it's not a good film, but whatever. We talked about Ringo at one point, so Tom's the Tank Engine. There you go.
There we go.
Mr. Conductor? Or...
Yeah. Well, Alec Baldwin's in here, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm going to show you guys. Life is like a box of snakes.
Oh my god.
That's brilliant.
Don't put
Yep,
your hand
you
in that box.
That makes sense. I mean, life's a box of snakes. You never know if you're going to die or not.
I think I'd rather a box of chocolate.
So one of your honorable mentions, Jason.
Yeah, and some of these you guys have mentioned, so it's pretty cool. I really agree on a lot of these choices. First one I got is Jack Sparrow from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, played with Johnny Depp, which I think Adam mentioned maybe in his list.
Yeah, my number. I think it was my number 7.
7. Okay, yeah, love that character. Like I said, Johnny Depp totally blew up. I feel like Johnny Depp, ever since he did that character, he's now that character forever. Like, I feel like he acts like Jack Sparrow all the time.
In real life.
When I see him in interviews, I'm like, is this guy just Jack Sparrow now? Like, but yeah, nominated for Best Actor again for a pretty much comedic role, and for a guy that really wasn't the main actor, he's really like a supporting role, but nominated for Best Actor because he was so good in that role. I got Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman.
I think Drew, if you with Drew mentioned that one.
Yeah, Wolverine, favorite character of the X-Men's. I was a huge Wolverine fan as a kid. One of my favorite all-time characters, and Hugh Jackman totally nailed it. And
Perfect role.
I'm going to have a hard time if
Yeah,
they recast that role. I'm going to have a hard time.
it's going to be really, really hard to. He doesn't need a perfect role as Wolverine.
And he's played it so many times. I'm sure I don't even know on top of my mind, but he's one of the most played characters. I mean, Hugh Jackman played him so many movies. I have Indiana Jones was on my list. Harrison Ford, again, like you said, such a great character. I left him off because I had Han Solo in there, so I didn't want 2 Harrison Ford characters. But Indiana Jones easily could have been my top 10. Really great character. I put Snape on here on my honorable mentions, played by
Okay,
Alan
yeah.
Rickman. Again, such a great performance. He's really kind of a despicable character throughout most of this series.
It's not a very tragic backstory, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Once you get to the end, though, he becomes more likable, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly, I don't know, it's such a great performance, I think, by Alan Rickman. And he's definitely a standout, I think, in the Harry Potter movie. So that's why I had to put Snape in there.
I think Dumbledore might be my favorite.
Yeah, Dumbledore's good too.
Yeah.
I put Dr. Frankenstein from the Young Frankenstein movie, played by Gene Wilder. So, Frankenstein, but Young Frankenstein is one of my favorite comedies. And again, I love Gene Wilder in that role. And it's kind of a spoof of the Frankenstein movie. So mostly what I know about Frankenstein is from Young Frankenstein, kind of spoofing some of those scenes there. And then I have a character from a movie called Tommy Boy, played by Chris Farley. Played a character called Tommy Callahan, the main character. And I loved Chris Farley. He was one of the funniest actors of the 90s, I think. Unfortunately, passed away. But absolutely love that movie and his performance.
Nice.
That's it.
Cool.
I've gone with a few, and I'll go with my animated ones first. So I've got Simba's father. So Mufasa, yeah. I've also gone with the genie, but the Robin Williams genie, yeah.
Yeah, great character.
And I've gone with a couple of action characters. I've gone with John Wick.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm big. I love those John Wick movies.
Yeah.
Although they are very violent.
Yeah.
They're very violent movies. I've also got John McClane as well. Even though I've only seen the first Die Hard movie, I've got to watch some more of them. And I've also gone with another Marvel character. I've gone with Captain America.
Yeah, another great character.
And I've got Indiana Jones quotes here. One of them is, "You're a teacher part-time." That's what Mutt says to Indiana Jones. He says part-time.
Really?
So you're a teacher. I'm trying to look. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. That's one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, and Indiana Jones's father. He says, "We named the dog Indiana."
You named him after the dog?
I think the one that you said, Jason, was "It belongs in a museum." Or was that you, Bryer, who said that?
Yeah, I said that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you said that.
It belongs in a museum. Yeah.
Well, there we go, guys. We've done our top 10 movie characters.
All right.
All right.
And
Cool.
everyone watching this after it's been live, you can let us know in the comment section what your favourite movie characters are. And because we've been spoiling quite a lot of the movies,
Yep.
you can spoil away in the comment section. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed doing this with you guys.
Yeah.
Should definitely do a video together again soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. I really enjoyed doing this. It wasn't an easy this to make though.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially mine. Mine was like last minute.
Really?
Yeah.
I only had 2 days.
Yeah.
Came at the end.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. So before we go ahead and end this, we've got Rich saying take care, guys. Great show.
Take care, Rich.
Thanks for watching, Rich. Appreciate it. Do you guys know what you're going to be doing next on your channel? What videos do you have planned?
So for me, it's gonna be the same stuff. Actually, I already announced. I already made a video, but it's scheduled for tomorrow. But it's gonna be announcements because next Saturday I'm gonna be doing my first live stream.
Oh,
What nice.
Yeah. So it's gonna be next Saturday, October 1st. It's on my birthday, so.
okay.
Oh,
So yeah, so it should be fun. Good, perfect opportunity. for that stream, I'm just gonna be talking about all the CDs I bought for September, because I usually do like a whole end of the month roundup of all the things I bought and give like my first impressions on them. So it should be fun doing it live this time around. Got like 34 to talk about, so should take a bit.
Yeah.
I'll be on holiday then, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
I might watch it once I get back though.
Yeah.
What about you, Jason? What have you got planned?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't have them planned in the future. I just kind of each day I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't have any live streams planned. Like I did this last week. I had a bunch of live streams planned. And about every other Sunday, I'm usually off work, and I've been trying to do these live streams where I go over top 10s of each decade, and I've covered the 2010s and I've covered the 2000s this last Sunday. So whenever, usually on a Sunday when I'm off, I usually do a live stream doing top 10s of that. I keep needing to do. I have a top 100 favorite albums that I keep going through, but I haven't done one in a while. So I keep doing other stuff. Gets in the way. I need to get back to that. And my top, I'm ranking my Beatles songs. I'm at like number 96, I think. So I still need to get back to that at some point, hopefully. And I want to do a video on something that you did, Adam. Top 10 bands or artists that only have 5 albums, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 or less.
5 or less albums. I made a list, so that's a video I want to do soon in the future. Because you and Sam did one, I believe.
Yeah. Sam's idea.
Okay, yeah, Sam's ideas. Yeah, I wanted to get in on that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
nice. And I've got a video I'll be uploading tomorrow. It's a video for the Happy Hippie final guy on 12 favorite frontmen.
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
that should be nice.
But with a twist.
Mm.
Yeah, you have to find out what the twist is
What the
in the
fuck?
video. It wasn't an easy task though. Put
I
it that
bet.
way.
There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
And once I see Don McLean in concert, I'll be reviewing that definitely.
Oh yeah.
I hope we have some footage of it, but I'm not sure if they'll allow us to video anything.
I'll
Or
do
not.
some sneaky video in.
You can do it without anyone knowing. Rich is saying, "Have a great cruise, Adam." Thank you, Rich.
Oh, thank you, Rich.
I appreciate it. I'm really excited to go.
Mhm.
Been a few years since I've been on one. I think it'll be my 8th cruise.
Wow.
Wow.
I've never been on one.
Me neither. My brother's been on one.
Yeah.
They're my favorite holidays.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, should be fun.
As soon as you get on the ship, the holiday
Yeah.
starts.
I'll be doing loads of quizzes. I hope to be Beatles ones
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hope so.
and bingo. I love playing bingo.
Hopefully you'll win the jackpot.
We never do.
It's usually in
Rich
dollars.
take more than I. So Rich won't be on any either.
Same.
Yeah. That sounds like fun.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll hear all about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it for this live stream.
You've all worked really hard.
Yeah, really enjoyed doing this with you both.
Yeah, same here.
Do you have any final words?
I wanted to shout out Ryan Conway from RWR Movies. His wife is having surgery, I think today or tomorrow. And I was on his live stream last Tuesday anyway. So just prayers out to that surgery goes well.
I hope so too. But, yeah, I think we'll end it now. And I'll see you guys next video or live stream.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Ciao for now.
See you again soon, guys.
Bye.
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 How do I end this? There we go. Goodbye, guys.
Ciao.
Ow.